بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. In this video, I want to talk about an important question. So, someone asked me, a brother asked me, he's interested in Islam, but he has a few concerns, and one of those concerns is a very common one. So, he asked me a few questions, and inshallah, I'm going to make a few videos about his questions, and a few questions by my niece also. I'm going to make a few videos about that. So, some interesting questions. So his question was, did Islam spread through the sword? Because we keep on hearing Islam is a religion of peace, and then we hear that Islam spread through the sword. And so I want to say a few things about this point. The first point is that there's a difference between peace and pacifism, right? So Islam is not a pacifist religion, right? Pacifism is in Islam, like as a subset, right? But Islam is not a pacifist religion as a whole, right? Pacifism is when you completely deny the need of violence, right? Or wars, right? And so war is a reality and violence is a reality in some case, right? So there's a peace that you get when your desire is fulfilled, when your desires are fulfilled. Obviously peace, the meaning of peace can be very different, right? In different situations, right? When your desires are fulfilled, you get peace. That's one type of peace. But then there is also a peace that you get when you go to the doctor, you're sick, and then the doctor has to give you medicine, which usually does not taste good, and then sometimes the doctor has to do surgery, which like the doctor has to take you through some pain to give you peace, right? And so although doctor is performing a surgery with knives and all that, but you still thank the doctor because the doctor has done something that brought peace to you. So Islam's concept of peace is therefore like it does not completely deny the need of violence, and it's like the definition is consists of both of these things. When you become Muslim, you pray, you get peace that can not be described. It's so amazing. But then obviously sometimes there is need of violence to bring peace, right? Which is war, right? And so that's one point, right? So Islam is a peaceful religion, but again, the definition of peace is something you need to think about. So now coming back to the question, did Islam spread to the sword? Now in the beginning, especially after the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, the Sulh Hudaybiyah, the Prophet ﷺ sent letters to different kings, right? To the Roman Empire, to the Persian Empire, and inviting them towards Islam. And obviously, when the Khilafah was established, there were various wars, and Islam spread. The Islamic Empire spread really fast. So the initial motivation to spread Islam, if you look at, it's based on the ayah that I'm going to discuss now. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah An-Nisa, وَمَا لَكُمْ لَا تُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَالْمُسْتَضْعَفِينَ مِنَ الرِّجَالِ وَالنِّسَاءِ يَقُولُونَ. You can read the whole ayah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that why don't you struggle, right? Why don't you fight? وَمَا لَكُمْ لَا تُقَاتِلُوا, right? Qital, right? And fi sabilillah, that's fi sabilillah has been in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Wal mustad'afin. So if you read the tafsir, I heard the tafsir from my sheikh. I don't do self tafsir. I'm just telling you what I've read from the books of tafsir. That this is fi sabilillah wa fi sabilil mustad'afin, right? That we also fight for the oppressors. Just as we fight for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we fight for the oppressors. So if Muslims, and I'm talking about like the ideal times when Islam was a power. Now obviously we're spread out and we're all broken up, as in there's no single ummah now, right? Muslims are all spread out and we're just weak. So but in the ideal case, when there is a khilafah that is established, we're going to fight in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then also we're going to fight in the way of oppressed people, to protect them, and so the early expansion was actually, was because of that. It was to get rid of the world from oppressors, and that was the dominant form of ruling during those days. It had become the dominant form, and this is why Islam spread really fast, because Muslims used to remove the oppressors, and then they did not used to touch the religion of the people of that country. And this is what we are taught. We don't forcefully convert people. La ikraha fi din. So in that sense, right? In that sense, yes, the Islamic empire spread through the sword. There's no like, there's no other way to spread, right? Like if you like in those days, if there was a powerful empire, that was the natural way to expand, right? And so, but when it comes to Islam as a religion, there's no there's no forced conversion in Islam. It's not allowed. Yes, there were bad chiefs afterwards. They can be bad rulers, and I'm talking about the classical phase of the four khulafa, for the four caliphs radiallahu anhum ajma'in. So at that time, this was the way expansion took place, and it was very fast. One of the fastest expansions in the history of empires, right? And so that's the conclusion, that Islam, yes, as an empire, it did spread through the sword, but as a religion, it did not. And you can check history and see that it was dominantly spread actually through the Sufis, and especially in the subcontinent, through the love of the Sufis, right? And so that's another video. Jazakallah for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.